Okay, so I got R7 figured out here. I think it just took another moment. I'm really never sure if I should stop the video or not when I do these things, but okay, so that red resistor right there, that would be, let's see, body end dot. What's that look like on the end? I would say it's red. This is the confusing thing about this style of coloring. If the body and the dot are the same color, you just don't see a dot. So I'm going to guess that's red, red, yellow. That's 220K, isn't it? Red, red, yellow. The R7 is 22K. Maybe I got it wrong. I just got to have the numbering wrong. Body end dot. The dot is yellow. And that's the ground point there, right dead center of the screen. And it goes over to this tube, and you can see the cutoff end of the wire from the resistor I removed. So they're connecting, those two resistors are meeting each other at the pin. And there's a capacitor coming off there too, going to ground. It's a long process to be sure what you're doing on these radios. It's so easy to be fooled. It's the tremendously confusing process of going from the schematic to the actual radio. So it really bends my mind around quite a bit. So, and this is where all the mistakes happen. Oh, not all of them. Okay. There's lots of room to make other mistakes too. So I'm quite positive about what this big resistor is. I don't think there's any doubt about that. R8. And I'm pretty sure I know which one's R7. Let's put the ohm meter across that one. We're expecting 22K on this. And 23.2. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that resistor. It's good enough the way it is. Well, I'll take that back. I don't know that it's not disrupted internally, that it's not shorting internally, that it's not the guy causing all the noise. But as far as resistors go, odds are he's not. He's not a bad actor. Now, while we've got these capacitors exposed here, oh, we should really figure out that other resistor and verify its value in that. So there is another resistor coming off the non-tube end. So it's coming off this end here. And it could meet a resistor. Oh my gosh! Gotta trace these wires these lines all over the place to see if there's more resistors directly connected. R5 is one. The R5 goes directly to a coil. That's what that other resistor is doing. And then it's coil, 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 coil. It has to be R5. It has to be R5. R5 is a 22K half watt resistor. Yeah, I would say that's what that is. So we expect 22K on that. Hey Bobby, I'm testing resistors here. Oh yeah, this is nowhere near 22K, is it? 800. Okay, so the question is, am I actually reading the resistor or am I reading a parallel current path, and it's not really the resistor there. So I think what we'll try to do is we'll try to remove one leg of this resistor. We'll try to remove that big blob of solder with my not so easy to use desoldering guy, and we'll try to clean these connections up. As I say, get rid of the bulk of the solder. I can free up that end of the resistor, and then hey all you YouTube viewers, if I said Mike Holmes, do you know who I'm talking about? If you're Canadian, yeah, you probably do know who I'm talking about. And if you're not, you probably won't see this TV show that stars a guy named Mike Holmes who repairs houses. He doesn't repair radios, he repairs houses. And just thinking about, gutting this out and starting over again, that would certainly be his style, because on his show he comes out to a person's home that has some problems, and he begins tugging away at drywall and stuff like that. Before you know it, he strips the entire inside of people's houses out and rebuilds them entirely as part of his show. It's a pretty good show. But that's not what I'm trying to do with this. I'm not trying to Mike Holmes this thing. Although in the end, that's where I may end up, replacing all kinds of stuff. Boy, I am talkative today. Could it be all that coffee I drank already? Here we go. Yeah, there's a big lump of solder here. It's going to take a while to heat it up. There it goes. Third of it went there. One of the things about doing this is you have to repeatedly apply the solder sucker, and during that time in these large connections you're investing large amounts of heat into them. It's traveling up into the components, so really you don't want to be, wow. That was terrible. Turn up my soldering iron here. And we've got to give you a better camera angle on this. Let's do that. Let's make it a little more interesting here. Hopefully I can still get at the thing I need to work on. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's see if I can get my soldering iron back in there. It's a little more crowded now with the camera there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this like this. No, we got to change things a little bit. Go down, Mr. Camera. Down, out of my way. Like one of these balancing acts here. I've got too many things to get right at once. Is that the right connector? Yeah, that's it. That's the spot. That is the spot. About half the solder is out of it already. You can see that great big clump right beside it too. It's not delivering enough heat here to... There it goes. Fire one. Oh, did you see that whole thing move there? I think there's loose wire in here. Yeah, probably from the remains of the piece of wire I cut. Quickly, Jimmy. Reload. Keep it hot. I don't know. Not getting much solder anymore. Let's try a different approach here. I'm not exactly sure what that different approach is, but okay, that wire's off. That wire's, oh, that's a wire. That wire's there. That's a good wire. That must be part of that resistor there. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. I can't take my eyes off for the work here. Ooh, okay, there's a piece of nothing came off there. There goes that resistor. Come on. And one more. Stay off. Don't fall back on there. There we go. Oh, don't go. No. There we go. Okay, now I can test that resistor. So I don't know how much of that you saw. Now, I'll get in there with my voltmeter leads. Or I guess I should call it my ohm meter. Okay, that's one end of the resistor you can't see, and now I'll come in and touch the other end. Don't want it touching that. Come on. Just long enough for me to read. What's it reading here? It's reading 900 ohms. So you know what? I think that reading we got earlier, the 800, is valid. I think that's what this resistor is actually reading at. Let's try again here. No, maybe I'm wrong. $890 ohms. So 890 on the 20K scale. I put my meter on the 2K scale. We should see 890. Yep, 890. 890, and it's supposed to be R5, 22K. Wow, that's a mile off. And I'm pretty sure we got it correct here on which resistor it is. Pretty sure. There should be a capacitor tied to the other end of it. I think there is. It's a Hunt's capacitor, just up out of your view. And that capacitor should be C19. It should be how much? It should be 0.1. It's a 0.1. .1 they wrote on it, yep. I think we got to take that resistor out of there. And we're getting a number of parts out at once, and my little alarm bell's going off. I may confuse myself by getting too many things out at once. Start forgetting what I've done. Capacitor out of here, resistor out of here, and we're about to take out another resistor. We got a bunch of wires disconnected here too. Okay, let's pop out the resistor. And it does pop out. Now let's take a close look at this under the magnifier. He's not looking too healthy, is he? Yeah, it looks bad. Bad guy. Let me test him again. Now it's right out. It's supposed to be 22K. Might be a little hard to test here. $890, and body and dot on this would be brown, black. Huh. This would be brown, black, and brown, supposedly. It's like 10 ohms or something. So I'm going to assume it overheated and burned off the dot. I really don't like it when things don't add up perfectly. I start thinking, oh, I got something wrong, and it's usually true. But that really fits the bill. I mean, it really does match the schematic. It's another 22K, a 22K resistor. So I think I'm going to put this resistor in place but not solder it. This is the replacement for the 15K big guy. I feel better if I start putting some of these parts in. I'm going to have to spaghetti these things up too. Okay, let me go ahead and do that a bit. Okay, you missed all of 2 minutes. There still was a lot of junk on that connection. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So I just wanted to feed the lead from this resistor through the little hole in the terminal strip. Because I cleaned away all the junk, I have a chance of making a nice, neat connection here if I pay attention. Now this is supposed to go all the way to here. You know that old saying about measure twice, cut once. I think we can convert that saying a little bit to fit this kind of work, which is verify twice before doing anything, or you'll be doing a lot of things. Verify before doing any one thing, or you'll be doing many things to compensate for your mistakes. How many times have I mumbled about that? Just don't want to make mistakes doing this, and it's hard not to. Those mistakes are very hard to track down in the end. As I'm sure some of you watching these videos have done electronic kits. Like Heath kit, that used to be the big kits when I was younger. And those things come with fantastic instructions. Step-by-step guide, checklist, everything like that. I guarantee you, if you build something like that, you'll probably make a mistake in it. And have to sort that out right at the end. Okay, I got that on there nicely. Nicely considering what I'm trying to do there. I'm going to tack in this end of it, because if I don't, it's going to separate, and oh, that was great. A blob of solder just drip into the radio there. There we go. Okay, so that's the dog bone done. Throw them over there. One of the. Now this guy, 22K. I'll put in a 5-watt resistor again. Let me dig one out.